Hi everybody, it's Deanna with toolsofenergyprotection.com. Take 3. I've tried to get on several times tonight, but the weather here where I live in Colorado hasn't been cooperating too much. We have tornado warnings, we have hail, and all kinds of things happening right now. So I have 3 different internet spaces that I can connect in, and I had to come to the last one, which was really surprising to me because normally I talk to you on my first one. So I'd like to say hello to Karen. I hope the others who were seeing me earlier will come on back. But it is truly amazing. And as you can see, I'm not got my normal hair and stuff up. It's been a very wild and crazy last couple of weeks. I know I've missed seeing you, but last weekend we were celebrating the Kelly Cup, which, as you know, is the hockey team I follow, the Colorado Eagles, and they're part of the ECHL. And this was their very last time to win the cup. They won last year, so they were defending it this year. And also this is their last time ever to win it because they're going up to the next level of ACHL, or AHL, I'm sorry, and they won't be in the ECHL anymore. So it was fantastic. They went out winners. They're very excitable young men, and I'm proud of each and every one of them. Welcome back, everybody. Hi, Candace, Anna. Yay! After 3 different times trying to connect into the internet, I finally got it. Don't give up. So anyways, I am wearing my special back-to-back shirt for winning the Kelly Cup, and I got the opportunity where I finally could come over to my office in between hailstorms and tornadoes and all that stuff. So sorry I look a little rough around the edges, but you know, it's real life. So tonight I want to talk to you about several things. In the past I have done every Tuesday night a broadcast about angels, or I would do one about loved ones, deceased loved ones, or this or that, and had a pretty good rhythm going. And then again, I'm sorry I missed the last 2 weeks just to take place with my team in something that will never happen again. So it's very near and dear to my heart, and I don't know what will happen next year. New team, new level. I'm sure it'll be exciting. But right now what's going on the planet is similar to what I've been seeing in hockey. Thank you for the hearts. Not only is my team being up-leveled to the next level, but so are we as human beings. So please, if any of you know of anyone who is spiritually gifted or highly sensitive, I would ask that you would please have them tune in either to this video or to other videos I've done on toolsofenergyprotection.com. The link should be down here if you're on Facebook or YouTube. And come on over and check it out, because what's happening right now is our planet is being upped to the next level. We've been working on ourselves for a while. Last August, with the eclipse, it changed everything in the dynamic of this world, and people have been feeling it for a while. And there's a higher and higher level of anxiety that's going on. If you haven't noticed, take a look at the world scene, even just in my own neighborhood, in the Loveland, and then also Denver when I'm down there at the bookstore. There's a lot more aggression, a lot more violence, a lot more tempers flaring, and you could say to me, hey Deanna, it's summertime, that's normal. Okay, fine. But what I'm telling you is, as long as I've been doing this and being sensitive and connected in, I'm seeing more and more lower level vibrations being sent to us. Okay, a lot more of the lower realms, if you will, the lower vibrations being sent to us. So what does that mean? If you've been feeling a lot more anxiety lately, a lot more phobias lately, a lot more depression, emotionally or physically disabled, and I don't mean that in a negative but a positive manner, because, if you're used to blowing and going, like me, I'm doing my business 24/7. Well, not really, but I'm blowing and going and making plans and bringing on students on board and helping more people and my spiritual life and my family life, and there's a lot going on. And as long as we feel good in our physical body, that supports the spirit body in doing what needs to be done in this time and space now. But if you're disabled or diseased, if you're suffering depression or anxiety or any of those things, it's disabling and it doesn't feel good. And so we have a tendency to isolate and be at home and just stay away from the rest of the world. So tonight is a call to spiritually gifted people, highly sensitive people. It is time for you to get on board. It is time for you to power up and throw off the darkness, right? I hear a lot of people tell me that they don't feel good about themselves, that they feel worse than they ever have, and they're not doing anything about it. So this is my battle cry. This is the battle for your spirituality. This is the battle for your soul, dare I say it. There's the dark and there's the light. Which side are you on? I would love to have you come and let me teach you how to empower yourself spiritually. For those people that have taken my spiritual level 1 class, they know that it's spiritually based, but it's also biblically based. That's my background, is the Jewish Christian background. So a lot of stuff I say comes out of the Bible. That's my orientation. If it works for you, great. If it doesn't work for you, find another way, but strengthen yourself. It is so important right now. The world is in fear. The world is in high levels of anxiety. I've had four students that have told me that they feel lost in the world. I've had clients come to me and say, I don't know what to do. I feel lost. So if everybody's feeling lost, they're going to look for the light, right? And that's you if you're spiritually gifted or if you're highly sensitive. So it's time to dust yourself off and pick yourself up and walk forward and be the light that you are. Does that mean you have to get on here with me? No. Does that mean you have to go in business as a healer? No. And by the way, healers don't really heal people. We hold the space for you to heal yourself. Hi, Tracy. Hi, Monica. That's what we do. And so one of my gifts is helping people to know their place in the world. Why are they so spiritually sensitive? Why have they been taking on other people's poop most of their lives? There's many components to that. There's a mental, emotional, physical, spiritual component to that. And so I'm calling on you to step out and come join me and those of my students who are learning how to empower themselves and fight that spiritual battle for their very beingness. Hi, Rosina. It's very important. I'm very happy if you have a faith that you follow, a practice. I had a lady who contacted me. She says, I'm so afraid to contact you, because I'm just scared what might happen. My question is, what happens if you don't contact me? Are you going to be afraid? Are you going to go on living in fear? If you have a spiritual practice, if you go to church every week, great. It's a great foundation. It's a great way to connect to God's Spirit source. What I'm offering is to teach you how to take that connection, bring it into your life totally and completely, and walk forward in love and light, and not drag the BS through life with you. If you really want a very, how do I say this? If you would really like to have a connection that works. I'd like for you to understand what Jesus said. If you go in your Bible and you look at just what Jesus said, sometimes you can get them where they're highlighted in red with what he said. And read what he said and really digest what he is telling you, you will find the keys. You will find the keys on how to exist in the here and now when this world is very dark, and be a light and draw the light to you and experience it. It's synergistic. It's like all the bubbles floating to the top and going around the rim of the glass. They collect together. Let's see. I'm reading one of the questions. Somebody says we have a retrograde season upon us. Astrological, any pointers for survival? Retrograde usually is a back pulling energy. It's a back pulling and a disruptor normally. So my question would be, what's pulling you back? What's holding you back? Are you angry? Do you find yourself just angry? Does it take much to set you off? Do you find yourself depressed, withdrawing from other people? Whatever it is that you find yourself doing over and over again that's not a positive, outgoing type quality, look at that. Now, if you're introverted, like my daughter, no problem. I'm not asking you to go out there and smile and wave to the whole world, but look within and see what's holding you back from doing the things that you desire to do. Because a lot of us have built these little prisons around ourselves mentally and emotionally that keep us from doing things, finding things, asking questions. You know, sometimes people will hand us so much stuff. They hand us, you know, we ask for something and they slide us with something and get us to go away because they don't want to deal with it. If you ask a question, you should be able to get an answer. And if you can't get an answer, perhaps you're not asking the right person. But just having the tenacity to find answers, whether they're answers from here or answers from other people. That's what I'm encouraging you. And I'm sorry if I seem a little edgy tonight. It's just the energies right now are edgy. They're very edgy. And I have been feeling the darkness, if you will, coming closer, trying to find a way into my beingness, trying to find a way to get me to feel bad about myself, trying to get a way to make me fail. Like right now, that's one of the reasons my hair isn't done and my makeup's not done and my lighting's not on, is because I have so much going on in my personal life I can barely swim. So, you know, my business life too. It's just a lot of opportunity coming at me at once. And I'm sure that if I'm feeling that way, there must be people out there that are also feeling that way. Hi, Rosina. Hi, Kendall. Rosina said it's time to step out of my comfort zone. Yes, absolutely. So what I'm finding is if you don't step out of your comfort zone, the world will seem like it's coming in on you. And that's because the darker or the lower vibrations, demonic, if you want to put that name on it, they're coming. And they're coming quickly. There is a battle going on between the light and the dark. And it's no joke. We live in a society where information is fed to us. And now that we have the internet and lots of other things, it's being fed to us faster than ever before. What you take in here and what you take in here is what's being fed to you. So I would like for you to really look at what you are eating. Do you listen to the news every day? What are they telling you? Is it positive, uplifting stuff, or is it doom and gloom? How many murders were committed? How many people were assaulted? Those are not good and pleasant things. And yes, my heart hurts for those people. And I send them love. But that doesn't mean that my mind is constantly being fed that, because what happens is when you constantly feed into that, your anxiety level will rise up and your depression level will rise up. So it's important to see what's going on in the world, stay aware of it, but please don't digest it. You know, get the Reader's Digest condensed version. Probably just dated myself. but get the smaller version. Get something that is digestible where you can stay aware of what's going on in the world. And then feed and nurture your soul with love and light. Now is the time. If you're not sure, please reach out to me. I don't mean to be scary. I've had a few people say they're so afraid to contact me. It's not my ideal outcome. I bring the divine love into myself and I send it out as much as I can. Yes, I have problems. Yes, I stumble. Yes, I fall, but I pick myself up and I clean myself off and I keep going. And that's where we're at right now in space and time. So if you haven't taken the Spiritual Level 1 class, please go on toolsofenergyprotection.com and click on Work With Me, click on the Spiritual Level 1 class, and join up so we can get you started. It's going to teach you how to shield yourself so that you're not absorbing other people's poop all day long. Because some of us are programmed to be sensitive and we haven't been trained properly and we don't know what to do with it. So we just absorb it and it makes our body off chemically and it makes us sick. And then we isolate and we go into depression and we go into anxiety. Stop it. You don't need to do that anymore. Learn how to bring that love in and shine it out. Learn how to be the master of your own mind. Learn how to be the master of who you are. And you know what? Like I said, I'm on a different network that I normally am tonight. And even in my own office, my one I normally broadcast on wasn't working. So I'm on a different network. And I think somebody just asked me a question about the political scene. And I didn't quite catch it before it went away off the top of my screen, so I do apologize. But what I'm saying is that your direct relationship to God, Spirit, Source, to the Holy Spirit, to Jesus, that direct connection is so paramount right now. Take a look at the world. Just take a snapshot. Either watch the news. I prefer to go on the internet and just kind of brief it and see what the storylines are. See what's going on overseas, what we're being told, and just look at that. If it's positive and uplifting, great. If it's not, just make a note of it. Okay? So you know what's going on. Then I'd like for you to take a look at what movies are playing in the theaters and what's available to you. That will give you a really big idea of what's being fed to you. What the perception of the world is supposed to be. Anyway, that's as much as I will go into politics, okay? There's a big agenda up there, and it's being worked out down here. So which side are you on? Someone says, I am sensitive and some people's emotions have brought me into depression. Yes, that's what I'm talking about. When you're a highly sensitive person or a spiritually gifted person, you are built with the divine purpose of being able to sense what's going on around you. And if you don't have the proper training, a lot of times what you do is you absorb it like a sponge. And then you have to work it out in your own body. When I first started in this business, I would work on somebody who had shoulder pain, and the next morning I'd wake up with shoulder pain because I was processing it through my own body. And I understand that's an old school way of doing it. There were shamans in the past that would take people's energies on, put them on themselves, and work them out. I don't do that anymore. And you don't have to either. Yes, there's good. Yes, there's not so good. Yes, there's a lot of anxiety going on in the world, but that doesn't mean you have to absorb it readily and digest it. What it means is you've got to strengthen yourself. I think it was Rosina. If you were going to go out and run a marathon, I don't know about you, but I got way too much down here to be running any kind of a marathon. I probably get to the end of the block. You've got to train. Training takes time. If you're going to become a runner, training takes time. If you're going to be a really good runner, it takes nutrition and it takes discipline, because we have a mental, emotional, spiritual, and energy body, and all those bodies work together. You cannot leave one behind. Bottom line, they say faith without works is dead. Faith is from here and usually here. But if you don't do anything with the physical body, it's dead. And in a very small scope, if you think about it, I've had people come to me and they say, I need a job. I lost my job. And I say, well, what are you doing about it? Well, I'm praying that God will, show me the right job. That's great. But what are you doing? Are you interviewing? Are you shaking hands? Are you networking? Are you reaching out to people? Are you doing everything you possibly can in the physical 3D reality in order to find, what's being brought to you, to seek it? And some people, they just go on the internet and they look at a couple jobs, maybe apply for them, and that's it. And they expect to be blessed, or they expect another job to come to them. It's not going to work. It might work, but to me it's not going to work, because you're not physically moving forward in space and time. You're not reaching out to what you're asking for. If you desire something in this world, you have to move yourself towards it physically. You have to invest in yourself. Now, I'm not saying that there's some people that, they may be able to say, hey, God, I need a job, and the next day their phone rings, or somebody knocks at their door. Now, if that works for you, great, let me know. I want to know how that works. But for most of us, we have to plant the seeds and ask God's Spirit or Source to water them and for them to come into fruition. Because if you plant a seed, let's see, what did I plant this year? If you plant a watermelon seed, do you expect turnips to come out? Why not? Do you expect the seed to grow? Yeah. Why? It's because it's by divine order. It's what God set in motion. So in the same way, set in motion for us to learn information actively and then use it. So if you're just sitting there shuddering with anxiety and fear and phobia and depression and you're not doing anything about it, please let this be a call to your heart to get off your and get moving. Please get some help. I've said this before in other videos, but not doctor, not psychologist, not my job. But I can help you to know spiritually how to shield yourself, protect yourself, and not absorb other people's stuff and let it become a part of you. And then you've got to take some other action. Get yourself some help, with a doctor or a psychologist or, somebody, a nutritionalist, and we can even talk about that. But you've got to get yourself moving. And I hope my cry in my non-done-up hair, non-makeup face, no lights tonight, I'm hoping that may help you to know that I'm a real person just like you. I struggle just like you. I have tons of things to do. Sometimes I can't get to everything at once. But when you walk with God's Spirit or Source in your life, it becomes a lot easier. A lot more blessings come a lot more quickly. Things come together that you never thought they would, but you have to take action. And if you are taking action in your life and you're praying and you're walking forward or talking to God and nothing's coming of it, let me know. There's something that's still not right, and I may be able to help you with that as well. I'll give it my best shot. Anyway, I thank you again for coming back again. I'm sorry that I missed the last 2 weeks. It just has been an amazing journey. You're welcome, Rosina. With my hockey, well, not my hockey team, I don't own them, but with the hockey team of the Colorado Eagles. And I've got on my cup that says back to back. because they won 2 cups in a row and now they're going to the next level. And it's time for us to go to the next level. It's time for us to open our hearts and really have that divine connection. Because when fear comes, it's going to test you. If you already are anxious and have fear, it's going to be easy to knock you over. But if you have love and hope and direction in your life, it won't be that hard to stand firm. And more people will stand next to you. And you'll be blessed. It's really that simple. Doesn't mean that hard times won't come. We've all been tested. If you're into reading the Bible, go back and look at some of the greats in the Bible, the big ones that stick out, like Moses and Daniel and Shadrach. They all had challenging times too. Can you imagine being thrown into a den with lions, actual living lions who are hungry? Can you imagine being thrown into a furnace so hot that it should burn you instantly, but yet you walk out the other side because you were protected? Well, not literally the other side, but those people were brave, but they walked with God's Spirit or Source in their heart and their mind, and they were protected, and they were shielded, and they were blessed. So what makes you think that you're so special that you can't be blessed? What makes you feel so special that you think that you're not loved? Because you are. Each and every one of you. If you'll excuse my expression, God doesn't make mistakes. He made you. Individual, perfect, all your character goods, and maybe some not so goods, and maybe some things you picked up along the way to learn. Yes, Sherry says blessings are coming in His time, and they do. I'm sure Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, when they were put towards that furnace and saw that fire and felt that heat on their skin, I'm sure they thought they were goners. But they were protected. And nothing on them burned. And people stood in amazement. And they became the light to other people. Are you a light? Are you ready to shine? That's all. That's all that I really have. I wish each and every one of you a wonderful night. I thank you for joining me. I'll put some information up about what we're going to cover next Tuesday, and we'll get on the rhythm again of covering different subjects. One of the subjects that's been brought to my attention recently is spiritually gifted children. There's children that are like coming of age around 12 or 13 and sometimes younger, where they see things, sense things, know things that other people don't, and their parents aren't really sure what to do for them or how to help them. So I'd like to share a little information on that. I'll make a note to myself for that for next week, to talk about spiritually gifted children and a few things of what they experience or what can be done. If you have any stories or questions and you'd like to write in, you can do it through the Facebook Messenger, or you can go to my website and send me a message that way. But in the meantime, I invite you to take that leap of faith, to step forward and learn how to shield and protect yourselves from all these energies that are so pervasive out there, how to protect your mind, your body, your soul, so that you can be a beautiful light in this world that's getting darker by the moment. the good news is the good guys win in the end. So we just have to be like Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego and be willing to walk into that fire knowing that we're going to make it out the other side. And know that we're going to be loved and protected and shielded. So if you have questions for me, please feel free to private message me here on the Facebook page, YouTube. Down on the bottom, I think there's a place for comments. You can make comments on the bottom of that, or you can go to toolsofenergyprotection.com, click on contact, and I think the email's down there, so you can do that as well. This coming up Thursday and Friday, I will be at For Heaven's Sakes Books in Denver, where I'll be doing one-to-one sessions. If you'd like to get a session, call the store. You can Google it. I'm sorry I don't have the number tonight. It's For Heaven's Sakes Books, Denver, Colorado. You can Google it. And hi, Joe. And call them and book a time with me. We can get together, talk about what's going on for you. And maybe you just have questions before you take that leap. I've had people call and ask me, what my background is or where I'm coming from or, how do I work? And those are all great questions, and I have no problem sharing them as I went a little bit more deep personal than I normally do tonight. And I am so grateful for each and every one of you watching and the ones that are coming to be my students and have sessions and people that pose questions. I'm just so glad that I can be here and be for you. It's been a long road. I've been doing this now almost 12 years, and I've seen one-to-one 6,576 people or something like that, one-to-one in sessions. So I've learned so much, and I'm so blessed by everybody that comes to share time with me. So have a great, wonderful night. If you're just getting in on the end of the transmission, it will come back up into the Facebook feed tonight. Because the weather is not very happy tonight, I'm going to go back home, and then I'll post this tomorrow on YouTube. So have a great, wonderful night. Big kisses, big hugs, and keep walking forward. I know you can.